Hey everybody, Black Ninja 797 here, and today's video, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be bringing you guys my full-out review of what I currently think of Call of Duty World War II. Believe it or not, the game has almost been out for a whole month now, and I want to give this game some leeway so that way I could see what it could turn out to be. Because the game, when it first came out, I was expecting tons of glitches, and we were alright. There was tons of glitches. In fact, there is still tons of glitches. Point to Hawk. Basically, the maps, the game, the game modes, the guns, the supply drops, all that is going to be talked about basically in today's video, because I got a lot of stuff that I want to talk about, and it's not all negative. It's going to be some positive, some negative, and sometimes even neutral. I want to bring you guys this video somewhat after everybody else would, or just in general bring it out to you later, because I want to give my ability to play the game, to be able to get better over time, be able to understand the game, because if I just go into it blindly and not even know what I'm doing, I'm obviously going to have much more of a drastic review than if I played the game for a really significant amount of time. So I want to let my play time and everything be kind of like a reason why I have this opinion. I want to be able to say, hey, I put this amount of hours into this game, this is why I believe this. So you guys don't have to take my opinion as solid proof, or you don't have to take it for anything really, but this is just basically what I think of the game in its current state. So let's talk about the bad things, just get them out of the way. We're just going to blow right through them, because there is this kind of vibe in the Call of Duty community right now where everyone wants to hate the game, but the thing is though is that this is probably the best we're going to get, at least for a bit. Because here's the thing, is that the game is a good baseline game. The idea of the game, the setting, the fundamentals, all of that is good. It's boots on the ground, it's in the past, it's in World War II, it's back to Call of Duty's roots. This is pretty much it's basically the closest we're gonna get to old school without being like almost like obsolete at this point for Call of Duty. So everyone's trying to basically give the game a chance, but people are still not liking it in certain ways, whether that be from the glitches, or the way that people play, or the way the game is balanced in certain aspects, whether it's guns, maps, or etc. So people like the game's base model, but they don't like everything. And the way I see is that I like the game. I like the way that most of the maps go for the most part. I don't like Point to Hawk occasionally. I like it for the most part, but it just seems like there's a lot of people running shotguns and stuff like that. So Point to Hawk's just kind of on the neutral side, I would say. And then I would say that USS Texas, or Thunder says USS Head Glitch. And then I would say, Gustav Cannon, obviously, to be like the bad maps of the game. I can't tell what would be the, I don't even remember the DLC map, the one that you get for the season pass. I think it's Carentan. It's supposed to be a Call of Duty 2 map or something like that, and I don't know about Carentan because I don't have the season pass, because I don't know if I want to invest my money into the season pass for this game. I might buy the DLC individually depending on the zombies maps, but multiplayer wise probably not. But I do like the base game. But the maps and all the problems, it seems like that the game, for me at least, in terms of the maps, is really only two that I don't like, somewhat three. Gun balance, I would say that the BAR and the STG are probably like the two best guns of the game, because I see a lot of people use those guns. The STG has like no recoil, and then the BAR has super high damage, but luckily though they both got nerfed pretty quick, even though they were minor. Some people still use them a lot, but for the most part Sledgehammer is listening, at least not Bal and ASM1 situation where they nerf them after the life cycle of the game. But the FG42 at a point was good. I don't really like it anymore because it kicks way too much. Hopefully they don't ruin the guns. Hopefully the guns are usable, but they don't break them. I like the Type 100, but that's not overpowered. The PPSH is good. That's not overpowered in my opinion. I would say the closest thing you can get to overpowered really is the sniper rifles, because the sniper rifles, let's be honest, those things are basically a giant just nuke like sitting in your hand. Like, you just aim down sights and then boom, you just instantly die, just like the effect of a nuke, because there's no way that the snipers don't have aim assist. I am a big fan of Sledgehammer, and I respect all the developers, but I mean, come on, Condry. I respect you as a developer. I even respect you as a person, because you're pretty straightforward with us. But even if Activision is telling you, obviously don't say anything about the sniper rifles, even though I don't know why. I think that's more of your thing. They probably just don't even care. They probably only care if you disclose supply drop stuff. But in terms of snipers, let's be honest, Condry, you know that they're broken. I've played Black Ops 2 for years before this, and I know what the sniper rifles were like in that game, and these snipers remind me exactly of them. I love Black Ops 2, don't get me wrong, but the snipers in that game were broken. Those snipers were busted, and these snipers are debatably worse and stronger. I'm not even kidding you. I've been more quick-scoped and more like no-scoped and more 360 turned on than any time I can recall in the last few Call of Duties. And so it's basically competing for the spot of Black Ops 2 sniper rifles and how OP they are. Shotguns, I could really care less. The toggle action, or we joke around, is the Brecci V4 because, you know, there's basically been a Brecci since Black Ops 3 for every one of the shotguns, or at least one of the shotguns. That's not really bothersome. The trench gun, or that toggle action, like, I keep mixing those up. The toggle action is the Brecci, and then the trench gun, I think it's called the combat shotgun. There we go. But the combat shotgun, I can really care less. I just absolutely do not like the incendiary rounds at all. Those can be nerfed into oblivion because those things bug me. I mean, when you use them, they may come across as underpowered, but trust me, when you get shot by them a lot, it's really annoying. What else could I say? I can't really give a review of the LMGs because those are like the least used guns I've seen. I hardly see anybody with LMGs. Hardly. I see everybody with everything else, but I've never seen them. I've seen more people using the pistols. It's ridiculous. I don't see any LMGs. Let's talk about game modes. TDM, I could say that TDM is probably the most stable game mode out of everything in here. Because free-for-all, like, it's the spawns from what I can see are really bad, and I haven't even touched it yet. Let's see, War is a fun idea, but only one of the maps is, you know, like, somewhat usable because, you know, let's say that, you know, you get into a lobby and then it's like Operation Neptune. That's already out of the question because that map is awful if you're on Allies team because you're just gonna get spawn camped. Let's see, Griffin's okay. I mean, I actually sometimes like Griffin more than the other one. I can't remember. I think it's Breakout. Yeah, it's Breakout. But I like Griffin. I mean, I don't love Griffin, but I could say that Griffin's okay. It's just annoying because there's sometimes where, like, you're getting to the gasoline step for the tank, and when you get there, there's just people that just half build the barriers and they head glitch on them and they just don't move. It's really ridiculous. I would say Outbreak, or, you know, the last one, is probably the best just because it's the most controlled, most stable, has the most fair objectives from both sides. And then let's talk about Domination. You guys know me, I'm a huge fan of Domination in Call of Duty. In fact, it's probably one of my most played game modes ever. The only game mode that I probably invested more time into Domination, at least in the past, was Demolition, because I used to love spawn trapping. But Domination, in this game, I played it before, I played it a little bit, but I could say that from what I've experienced, I don't really like it, to be honest, and that's probably a first coming from me, but I don't like Domination in this game, because one of the things that they did that really ruined it for me was dropping the score to 50 per kill instead of 100 per kill, and that just makes it 10 times harder to get streaks, and that's one of the reasons why I go into Domination, is to get the streaks that I can't get in TDM, because that little boost of just doing something else other than having to kill somebody, it's just fun, it helps, you know, that's the point of score streaks, but they're kind of going for more of that, like, you know, diminish the score, so it's more of a kill streak, you know, type of you know, game now, and I can get that, but I like the score streak system. I don't necessarily like the old kill streak system. I liked them in the past, but the new system, the score streak system, where you can get score streaks for assists, kills, objectives, anything, that's more rewarding and it's more fair in my opinion, and that's why I like it better. So, you know, playing Domination and getting scored towards my streaks by playing, you know, the objective is more fun than, like, let's say going into TDM and then camping my butt off because I can't move, because if I rush I die by head glitcher, you know. So maps, game modes, etc. Basically, in summary, I would say that they're all iffy. It depends the way you look at it. The most significant thing that I could say that I really like about the game overall is the zombies, and then the multiplayer, I would say, is okay. There's moments where I like it, there's moments where I don't, and then the campaign I haven't tried yet, but I'll eventually get around to it, but I could probably say that I'll almost indefinitely like it, just from the vibes I'm getting. I've binge-watched Nathan, or my brother, if you guys have seen any of my old videos, or just heard him walk in. So we share a room. He just sometimes will just, like, watch me, and I'll watch him, and we'll watch gameplays of each other. He doesn't upload, but sometimes he'll just play on his own. I'll just catch him playing the campaign, and he just kind of just shows, like, the cutscenes, and they're not too bad. I don't watch them all just because I don't want to spoil it, but for the most part, I could say without spoilers, I would probably enjoy the campaign. Now let's talk about, let's say, you know, more details. Let's talk about the way that people play. The way that people play in this game is really annoying. It's far and few in between because there is different types of annoying I've run into so far, but there is a lot of annoying type of players in this game. Let's start off with the Tryhards. This will tie into skill-based matchmaking later on, but let's just address the tryhard part first. The Tryhards in this game, I will believe hardly for the rest of my life that there is no way that they have not played every Call of Duty since COD 4, or at least since Advanced Warfare, because there is the playstyles of some of these people, like, you can tell they played Call of Duty before, and they played it for years, and the fact that they get into my lobbies continuously is so annoying, because I'm not even prestiged yet in the game, but I run into people that have already, like, prestiged, you know, at least once, and, like, I run into people that are, like, dropping kill streaks every game, and they're not moving, and then sometimes they jump shot, drop shot, like, there's a lot of tryhards in this game that I can't even keep track of them, and I just hope that the game does not have a skill-based matchmaking, but the way it's going, I believe it does, which I'll talk about later. But there's people that drop shots, there's people that play like they play Advanced Warfare or Infinite Warfare last and just jump shot all the time. There's people that don't move, which I, you know, expected from an old Call of Duty game, but not this much. There's some people that will just use the Gatling guns that are mounted on the map. There's people that will just get into weird glitches, like I mentioned .2 Hawk, where you can't even shoot them. I know that Sledgehammer had a lot of glitches back in Advanced Warfare, but that was primarily last gen. And it's annoying on this game specifically because at least in Advanced Warfare you had a fair chance of killing them because you could just jump into the glitch, or you could just jump above them. And these ones, they're above you most of the time, and you can't even shoot back at them, and you can't even really evade in time. So once they see you, you're dead, which is why it's much harder to counter. And another thing that I don't like about this game, other than these play styles, is the fact that the way that Sledgehammer perceives the need to patch these things. Like, let's say that, you know, the game is busted. Like, let's say that there's a really bad glitch for .2 Hawk, right? Which already exists, we obviously know, so this will be even more understandable and relatable. Let's say that there's another glitch on .2 Hawk other than the one that's already there. And let's say that Sledgehammer, instead of nerfing, you know, the glitch or just getting rid of the glitch entirely, let's say that they add in these DLC weapons that, you know, they have leaked, or we've seen be leaked. I know that would be a part on Activision, because Activision is what pushes these things, but I feel like that Sledgehammer should also be able at the same time, like if they're getting crap from Activision, obviously their boss, they should be allowed to also, you know, say like, hey, can we patch this and do it at the same time, so that way, even though we may be adding something that might make people upset, at least they'll be happy we changed something that was broken about the game, because we don't want another Infinite Warfare situation where they patch the game months after it's, you know, basically dead, and then they, you know, add the COD points first thing. That was one of the most bogus mistakes I've ever seen Activision / Infinity Ward make, is adding in like 200 plus microtransactions instead of patching the game when it really needed it. And that's just things that bother me. Michael Condrey and Sledgehammer have been very transparent. Let me get that straight. I want you guys to know that I'm not hating on Sledgehammer. I may come across that way, and I may be giving some moments where like I joke around and I say that, but I'm not being serious. I respect them highly. But there is moments where like I feel that their prioritization is not right. I feel like that they need to prioritize the right things in the right order. Because there's times where, like, for example, the COD point situation, they did do something recently that made me happy, is that they delayed the COD points to fix the game, unlike what Infinite Warfare did, which I'll give them props. But they originally, like, their plan was, is that bothered me, is that they were going to originally try to do what Infinite Warfare was doing with, you know, the COD points first, and they're also not prioritizing, like, community feedback in ways that, you know, they need to be heard. Like, for example, how many people have you heard about the sniper outcry, but they don't touch them? They apparently patched some glitch, but that's not really, you know, nerfing the sniper rifles. I guess they're just trying to keep everybody happy by having everything be overpowered, like Modern Warfare 2 logic. But obviously, like, for example, I hate the snipers, and you guys know this, but they're not nerfing them. There's a lot of people that cry for a nerf, and they're not doing it. So I don't know why they're doing it. You know, it just bothers me. But other than that, that's basically it for the multiplayer side. Let's talk about the zombies, because I do have a couple things that worry me about it. The first thing is zombie supply drops. I hope that what they do throughout this season of Call of Duty is that they don't make supply drop exclusive zombies weapons. That would really bother me. Black Ops 3 did the best thing possible for what they could have done, and that was just give the zombie players the guns completely for free, which was good. But the fact that there's zombie supply drops in this game, it bothers me because I feel like that there's gonna be a, let's say, more statistical, better weapon in the supply drops that will be stronger. Like, for example, you could have, like, I don't know, the Jack in the Box Mark II, where instead of it, attracts all the zombies and blows them up, it, like, attracts all the zombies, and it, like, has a mini machine gun in it, and it stays there and doesn't blow up, and it just, like, it's almost like a trap. It just stays there for, like, 30 seconds, like, where obviously that would be more powerful because it lasts longer, Or, like, you could have the, let's say the Tesla gun Mark II, where it's actually a one-shot kill, like the Wonderwaffe for World at War, and not like this hit marker machine, because let's be honest, the Tesla gun's not good. And another thing that would really upset me if they decide to go this way is not only would it make it so that way you lock off some of the guns, but this would also ruin the Easter egg, because there is Easter eggs where the guns for the Easter egg are the wonder weapons or a certain, like, mystery box gun, and if you don't have them, you can't do the Easter egg. I feel like that would ruin some of the Easter eggs and make it where you have to literally pay to win, the zombies map to beat the Easter egg. I hope that they do not go down that route, because the zombies is probably the best part of the game in my opinion. I've always loved zombies, and this is a really good zombies in my opinion. I hope they just do not go down that road. It'd be really, really bad. And the second thing that really bothers me about the zombies is that I feel like that they're going an exo zombies route with this game. It's not as noticeable, but you can see similarities in this game where there's some zombies that shouldn't spawn in so much or so often or be so strong or whatever, because the only zombies in this game, from at least the Final Reich, because that's where the most of them are, is the normal zombies, the pest zombies that have no arms and are like a dog round. You have Batman, and then you have the flamethrower guy, and then you have the explodey dudes, and then obviously the boss. But here's the thing, is that there is honestly way too many bosses or like special zombies at a time, and it starts to get really chaotic in the 20s. There is times where I will be just training my own business, and I will literally run into 3 Batmans or 3 Bat guys, and they will just all club me one by one, and they'll take out every bit of my armor, and then I have to immediately buy armor, like, in the snap of a finger. And then as soon as I buy it, they block me off, and then they take it all again, and then I have to literally go up in increments of 500 every 30 seconds until my armor's capped at 10,000. It's really annoying. The flamethrower guy could also really receive a nerf, because when you get into, like, the late 20s to the early 30s, eventually there's going to be 2 of them at once. And if you're playing on solo, it's much more harder to kill these guys. If you have camo, I guess it's not that bad. But let's be honest, he's literally a buffed Panzer from Black Ops 3. And the Panzer from Black Ops 3 was already buffed from the Origins one. And the thing that bothers me about this guy is that he's really fast, but he also has a ranged attack. The flamethrower doesn't need to be that close. It can be pretty dang far. And if you get shot by, the flamethrower, and you get whacked by a couple zombies, you're gonna go down, because let's say that you just squeezed past like 3 zombies and you lost all your armor and you're red screen, like you're literally about to die, and then the one flamethrower guy just goes poof, just like a little tiny bit of his flamethrower, and it's at a distance too, and you just die. That really bugs me. I don't like that about the flamethrower guy. The explodey dudes and the boss I could really care less for, because they're not difficult. And I have done the Easter egg already on the Final Reich twice, so it's easy. I've always been good at the sledgehammer Easter eggs. And the thing that bothers me the number one, most about the game as a whole is the supply drop system. And I know I just touched on it with zombies, and I also touched on it with multiplayer, but let's look at the general aspect of this system. We all know that the supply drops are going to be in every Call of Duty from here on out. There is no financial way that Activision would actually get rid of the supply drops, because ever since Advanced Warfare and they found out that they make so much money on these things to the point where it actually gives them better money than the physical game, and it just overall gives them so much money to the point where they're swimming in their money more than normal. They literally made I think $5.6 billion last year just on Black Ops 3 supply drops, and I was literally just flabbergasted at the idea of that, because I can't believe that many of us bought into that garbage system. So, like, here's the thing. The Infinite Warfare and the MWR supply drop system was the absolute best, with the salvage and the parts. And it looks like that they're heading down that route, because in World War II, there actually is a salvage-based system. When you end up going to the mail, or when you end up getting duplicates, you can actually buy collections, which will give you the cosmetic stuff. And I hope that this will apply to the DLC weapons that were leaked, because I'm pretty sure that those are actually real. Like, let's be honest, there's no way they're not going to, like, add DLC weapons. But what I'm hoping that they'll do is that I hope that they'll do the Infinite Warfare thing, because even though that Infinite Warfare did do statistically bad, but Activision was willing to, like, I don't know whether it was Infinity Ward or Activision or whatever, but specifically when MWR and Infinite Warfare came around, they did something at least a lot better than what they were going to do, in my opinion. They went from Advanced Warfare, where it was all RNG, Black Ops 3, where it was all RNG, to Infinite Warfare and MWR, where if you got enough duplicates or you just got enough salvage, you could just flat out buy the tier of things in a collection to get what you wanted. And so if you played the game enough, you could actually get the gun for free. Because in MWR, the guns were not in the supply drops. It was only the melee weapons, like the shovel, for example. And the MWR weapons you had to get through salvage, so you just had to get supply drops and get the duplicates and buy them through that salvage system. And in Infinite Warfare, you got the base variant of the gun that came out in the DLC for free, and then you could actually get the variants through the Quartermaster, but you did get the base one for free, which was good because you at least got to test out the gun. That was a good idea, and hopefully with the way World War II is, that they can add this, it would actually make the game at least a lot more fair and enjoyable, because I wouldn't mind that system. It'd be a lot more balanced, because that would be the middle ground. We all know Activision won't get rid of the supply drops. We all know that the supply drop system is broken, but at least this way, you get to at least try the gun. You can decide whether you would want to invest more money into the supply drops, but it would be a fair observation instead of just like, oh, picked off the ground once and got one lucky kill streak, and you know, now you want to buy it and then you may not ever use it again, you know? This would be the alternative situation where it would be a good outcome, and not like Black Ops 3, because even though I love Black Ops 3, that was the worst system out of all the supply drop systems, because that was completely RNG and nobody could actually guarantee themselves a weapon. And when it's not guaranteed, that's what bothered me. And the cool thing about Black Ops 3 is that they at least added the weapon bribes later on. In fact, they had like at least one like every month now, but the thing is though is that they should have done it from the life cycle of the game, like maybe like once every few months, so that way it doesn't become a problem for Activision, but it's not a problem for us. Like, at least give us more leeway. I feel like that would be the best route, is that supply drop system. Now let's talk about the good things, because I already did just give Infinite Warfare and MWR and Black Ops 3 and Advanced Warfare crap, and even, you know, WW2 or, you know, World War II. I just kind of like crapped on like several Call of Duty games at once, so let's spread some positivity here. The things that I like about this game, without a doubt, is that the game feels like Call of Duty again. I liked Black Ops 3, but my god, was that frustrating to basically all of like the time. Like, all the time that I played on it, I got frustrated like towards the end, because it got annoying. Because here's the thing, is that even though Black Ops 3 was more laid back than Infinite Warfare and Advanced Warfare, there were still people that would jump unnecessarily above my head. There was people that would wall ride and get behind me and flank me. In this game, you can't do that. If you get shot at, you can't jump 30 feet in the air above me and then jump shot me in the back. It just doesn't happen. You have to literally turn around and either get a 360 turn on kill, or you have to blow me up, or you have to quick scope me or something. But at least that's understood. Like, that's the typical Call of Duty thing. When you do it like Advanced Warfare or Black Ops 3, and you just randomly decide to just jump in the sky by like 30 feet Halo style or Destiny style or any of these future games, and you just kill me randomly, that's not fun for anybody at all. If I die that way, I'm going to be genuinely frustrated, because when I die in a way that I feel is unfair, I'm going to complain about it. I'm going to like verbally like tell you straight like that is not fair. it just isn't, you know? And I'm glad that the way that this game is going is that they've already eliminated one of the problems, the exosuits. They've also eliminated, for the most part, you know, obviously, like, the futuristic setting. But Black Ops 2, like, as an example, can show that futuristic settings can do good. But I'm glad that they did at least try to go back to the traditional style. And as for the supply drops, they look okay so far. But the maps, I would say that the fact that there's only 9, it's kind of annoying. But the good news is, though, is I like most of them. The kill streaks, they're okay. I don't like them particularly, but they can do. I know in Advanced Warfare, when you could upgrade the streaks, some of them went from bad to good. So maybe what they could do is that they could buff them so that way they're similar to Advanced Warfare streaks. Like, for example, like, they can make the fighter pilot, I don't know, like the bombing run, or like they can make like the carpet bomber like the bombing run. You know, make it or comes by multiple times instead, so that way it's more easier to get kills. Or they can make it so that way, you know, the UAVs last longer, or like if you call them multiple at a time, that you get a VSAT and not advanced UAV, because I think if you call them 3 you can advance UAV, but I've never seen that before yet. But the kill streaks, they're okay, they last. The weapons so far, there's some that are annoying, but there's none that everyone's using, where like literally every single person has that one gun, or at least one class for that gun. So it's not that much of a problem yet with anything in particular. And I say this very cautiously. I say yet a lot in this video because I'm worried that the game could go down a path where, you know, it would get to this bad, because here's the thing, is that it's easy to repeat yourself. It's easy to do actions that you've done before just because it's a thing of habit, you know? And I don't want Sledgehammer to get too comfortable. I want them to have fun with their game, but I don't want them to go back to the past and just try to make it like Advanced Warfare, because that's what they're used to. I want them to be able to make a game where they can make them happy and us happy, you know, make a fair game for everybody. And the way that I see this game, it's a solid game. Like I was saying, I like the zombies, I like the multiplayer, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to like the campaign. But the thing that I'm just simply worried about is that what could happen. It's just a reasonable doubt, but I also have reasonable, you know, observation. I always like to look on the positive. And I don't know about you guys, but the way I see this game is that in its current state, it's fun, and I don't necessarily have any problems with it. It has some problems, yes, but I could see myself binge playing this game for a while, and probably even throughout the whole year. But if they decide to screw things up, I'll just simply stop playing it. If they decide to fix some things, I might even play it more. It's just all about perception, guys. And I hope that you guys understand where I'm coming from. I played every single Call of Duty. I may not have played it back in their life cycles. I may have not played them all in order, but I played every Call of Duty, so I know what it's like to play the old school ones and the modern ones and the past ones. You know, I know what it's like, so I'm with you guys all the way, whether or not that you're an old school Call of Duty player or a modern one, because I can play all of them and do reasonably well, even Infinite Warfare, which I hated that game. But I can emphasize with anybody who has a certain play style or certain beliefs, because I played them all. So here's the thing that I wanted to conclude this video on, is that if you guys like the video, it's up to you. If you don't like the video, that's up to you as well. But these are just my honest opinions. If you guys do have anything that you want to let me know on, whether it's your opinion or whether it's some facts you found that you thought would be interesting, feel free to let me know. I do like to see what you guys have to say. I do like your guys' opinions. I do like talking to you guys. So let me know what you think about my opinions. Do you agree with them? Do you disagree with them? Do you think that something I said should have been changed? Do you think something I said was perfect? Do you think just overall that the video was good? Because if this video was enjoyable for you and you do want to, you know, get the word spread around about some of these ideas that I have for the game, you know, you can leave a thumbs up on the video. If your Twitter is linked to your YouTube, it will just tweet it out, so you can, you know, say, hey, I like this video, come check it out, because, you know, that will give us some publishing, you know, basically saying like, hey, check this video out. And if you guys also want to see more videos like this in the future, you can also subscribe to the channel, because I pretty much post a variety of everything. I post gameplay videos, vlogs, I make tons and tons of videos, tons of videos within these things. Like, I'll do funny moments, I'll do live commentaries, I'll do live gameplays, I'll do, I'll do vlogs like I was talking about, I'll do like these cool like montages, whether it be real life or not. I can do a variety of things. So at the end of the day, I just like to make you guys happy, doing something I enjoy. But anyways, guys, this is the conclusion for the video. I don't know if you guys have watched this far, but if you have, I do tremendously appreciate it, because the video is already over 30 minutes. But this is all my opinions on everything, and I just couldn't just narrow it down to a simple 5-minute video. I just couldn't. I had to say everything. So hope you guys did enjoy. Like I said, if you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe if you do want to see more of this. But anyways, guys, this has been Black Ninja 797, and I'm signing out. Peace.